rock and roll with some truth. Good morning, Robert, Brian. Couple of you patrons in here with me. Salud, my friends, and welcome to the Dennis Herrera Show. Stay thirsty, my friends. Well, we're going to go ahead and watch. Obviously, we got more news than just watching the executive order being signed from AIs. I believe it's nationwide. I guess I watched the Dennis Herrera show, says Quinn. And I appreciate you watching my show. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. So I got a couple of things that we're going to cover today. First of all, I'm waiting for Christy on Noam to come live. So I'm waiting for that. And then we're also, of course, we have Crime Chef that we're going to share towards the end. That's how you know it's the end of the show day. Crime Chef, I like to leave him for the closer. And I do want to share a video that criminals are not going to get away with it with their crime forever. And then I have something that it's going to give you guys mixed feelings, but at the same time, we're going to point out the positives about this video. You guys stay tuned, and I hope that you like the way that I have this presentation set up for you. James says the host has TDS derangement, Trump derangement syndrome. I do. Man, I love this president way too much. Something's wrong with me. Something is wrong with me. KMA says Latinos for Donald Trump. Let's go, baby. Let's go. James, I think you have DDS. You have Dennis derangement syndrome. Oh, man. Don't worry, guys. Again, if you just got here, let's see. Salud, my friends. Welcome to the Dennis Herrera Show. We are live. Here is Friday. So I'm going to say happy Friday to everybody joining in. What the hell is wrong with the audio? Let me double check on that. What's going on? Something's wrong with your audio. Hey, Robert, turn those earpieces audio volume up. Jay, you know, you finally say something that is true. I am a loudmouth. Oh, man. Yeah, you got to turn the hearing aids up, bro. Good morning, my man in the house. My friend, thank you for joining. Here you go. That's to you, my friend. Salud. Pretty soon, you guys will have one of these on your hands. I will say, I am so happy that you guys wanted one of my mugs because I feel that you guys support my show, and I appreciate you big time. Most of you guys are big brothers to me. So I'm just a little brother that's out here trying to spit some facts and truth to the people. And I think that, it's the least that we can do as American citizens. Try to give some positive feedback. Not everything has to be negative about our POTUS. I think it's very disrespectful. And I'm going to throw this before we get a bunch of people in here. I'm just going to throw this. Coyotes, welcome, my friend. Got some Trump tackle on the hook and fishing for some more big mouth liberals. Coyote, I might have to hire you for some slogans. I like that. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn my little special effects light over here. Let's see. There we go. That's how you get the little blue glow underneath. And I got my app over here that I can control it. I think that's okay. Blue, it's good. I like blue. Blue and red, for some reason, it always goes together. It's something to do with the police, probably. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see. What do we got? What else we got? Ken, good morning, Ken. Welcome to the chats. Welcome to the Dennis Herrera Show, where our chats are sometimes ridiculously stupid. depending on who gets on the chat. But guys, let's go ahead and start since we are waiting for Christy Nome. Let's go ahead and dive into our POTUS. This is something that happened yesterday. We did not have time to go through all of it, but today we're going to go ahead and listen to it. Now, to be honest, I don't remember if we watched this together. So if it's a repeat, I know my patrons won't mind.
Artificial intelligence. I always thought it should be SI, Supreme Intelligence, but I guess somewhere along the line they decided on the word artificial, and that's okay with me. That's up to them. It's a massive industry. We're leading China. We're leading everybody by a tremendous amount. The electricity is being built by them in every plant. They're building the electricity. We're getting them rapid approvals. But they're spending trillions of dollars, and they can't. Basically, this has a couple of other things that are less important, but one of the things that it has is you have to have a central source of approval. When they need approvals on things, they have to come to one source. They can't go to California, New York, and various other places like Illinois with Pritzker, who's a totally unreasonable person. And they have to have, they're putting all this money in. It's a big part of the economy. And there's only going to be, I think, one winner here. I don't know if anybody agrees with that. I think most people agree. But there's only going to be one winner here, and that's probably going to be the U.S. or China. And right now we're winning by a lot. China has a central source of approval. I don't think they have any approval. They just go and build. But people want to be in the United States, and they want to do it here. And we have the big investment coming. But if they had to get 50 different approvals from 50 different states, you can forget it, because it's not possible to do, especially if you have some hostile. All you need is one hostile actor, and you wouldn't be able to do it. So it doesn't make sense. I didn't have to be briefed on this, by the way. This is real easy business. I mean, this is simple. We're taking in trillions of dollars. We're taking in tremendous amounts of countries, jobs, everything's coming in. Now, just to get off AI for a second, auto plants are being built at levels that we've just about never seen before. Our auto industry was decimated. 56% of our auto industry left our country over the years. It was at one point 100%, and then it got shriveled down, and really we lost a lot. And now, because of tariffs, which have been so incredible, we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're bringing back our factories. We're bringing back everything. We've never been in a position like this. Our stock market today was, well, I saw it a few hours ago, but a few hours ago it was way up, and we hit a new high for the 52nd time in 10 months. We have an all-time high stock market, and it's all reasons. A big reason was the election November 5th, and another big reason, and maybe the biggest reason, but maybe not, because without the election this wouldn't have been done, because people don't know how to do it. The second reason is the tariffs. We're charging countries that were really hurting us badly, were really decimating us. Hence, we have $38 trillion in debt, which will start paying off pretty soon with the tariff money coming in. But countries that were really decimating us use tariffs against us. Now we're using tariffs. All we want is fair. All we want is national security. It's given us great national security. I settled 8 wars, and numerous of them was because of trade and because of tariffs. So we're very happy with that. But this is about something a little bit different. We want to have one central source of approval, and we have, I think, great Republican support. I think we probably have Democrat support too, because it's common sense. I mean, you can't go to, every time you make a change, and it could be a very reasonable change, you still won't get it approved if you have to go to 50 states. So this centralizes it, and it's something which the people behind me, the very distinguished people, but Tim Cook just left of Apple, and spoke to all of the big companies, great companies, and they won't be able to do this. This will not be successful unless they have one source of approval, or disapproval, frankly. You could have disapproval too, but it's got to be one source. They can't go to 50 different sources. So I just want to thank everybody for being here. And Will, what would you like to add to that?
Sure. Mr. President, as you said, in keeping with your commitment to grow the American economy, create potentially millions of new American jobs, and maintain America's technological and military superiority in the years ahead, This is an executive order that orders aspects of your administration to take decisive action to ensure that AI can operate within a single national framework in this country, as opposed to being subject to state-level regulation that could potentially cripple the industry. David Sachs, your AI and crypto czar, has been one of the key players and key authors behind this EO. He can give you more of the granular detail, but the big picture is that we're taking steps to ensure that AI operates under a single national standard so that we can reap the benefits that will come from it in terms of economic growth, job development, national security, and technological edge.
And it's really the biggest industry that anybody's seen. I mean, it's taking off. And again, I believe there'll only be one country that really benefits, and it should be the United States. And it will be if we do this, if we're unified. We have to be unified. China is unified because they have one vote. That's President Xi. He says do it, and that's the end of that. You know, we have a different system, but we have a system that's good, but we only have a system that's good if it's smart. David Sachs, could you say a few words, please?
Yes, sir. So, as you pointed out, we have over 1,000 bills going through state legislatures right now to regulate AI. Over 100 of them have already passed. 25% of them are in California, New York, and Illinois. You've got 50 states running in 50 different directions. It just doesn't make sense. We're creating a confusing patchwork of regulation. And what we need is a single federal standard. And that's what the CEO says, sir, is it basically states that the policy of your administration is to create that federal framework. We're going to work with Congress, like the chairman here of the Commerce Committee, Senator Cruz, and other members of Congress to define that framework. In the meantime, this EO gives your administration tools to push back on the most onerous and excessive state regulations. We're not going to push back on all of them. For example, kid safety, we're going to protect. We're not pushing back on that, but we're going to push back on the most onerous examples of state regulations, sir.
So I spoke with other Republican senators, and we have great approval. I think I spoke to anybody that even had any question and seemed to have gotten approval. Ted Cruz has been a very strong advocate of common. This is common sense. I mean, I think it's nothing more than common sense. Please, Ted.
Listen, this is the single most important economic question in the country and in the world. Who wins the race for AI? You look back to the 1990s, there was a similar inflection point with the beginning of the internet, the dawn of the internet. And Bill Clinton was president at the time. He signed an executive order, just like you're doing, that put into law a light touch regulatory approach to the internet. And the result was incredible economic growth and jobs in the United States. At the same time, the European Union took a very heavy-handed regulatory approach. Here's an amazing statistic, Mr. President. In 1993, the U.S. economies and Europe's economy were virtually identical in size. Today, America's economy is more than 50% larger than Europe's, and the two drivers of that are tech and the shale revolution. It transformed this country, and AI is the same thing. It's a race, and if China wins the race, whoever wins, the values of that country will affect all of AI. We don't want China's values of surveillance and centralized control by the communist government governing AI. We want American values of free speech, of individual liberty, of respecting the individual. So this executive order, I believe, is tremendously important. Thank you for your leadership.
Well, thank you very much. And Scott, please.
Yes, sir. This is pass-fail. As you said, this is the biggest technological innovation in our country's history. We've seen the canals, we've seen the railroads, we've seen the utilities, we've seen the build out of the internet and the fiber, and now it's AI, and it is pass-fail versus China. We have the lead, we've got to maintain it, and it is also going to be the single biggest source of economic growth, but everything else we do. But with our defense, there's no use in having a golden dome if China's AI can get around it. There's no use in spending all this money on defense. And the U.S. will remain the leader in this under President Trump's leadership. He has accelerated the growth. We're actually going to move ahead further. We're seeing building everywhere, construction jobs. There are going to be jobs at the AI data centers. And most importantly, President Trump had the incredible idea to allow the companies to create their own power. And we are going to see soon that communities near AI facilities will have the same or lower electric costs than other communities, which is a great innovation. So this is an important document today.
Do you have any questions?
On this subject, President Trump, are you more worried about the U.S. winning the race for AI dominance with China or about AI's potential threat to humanity?
Both. We're looking at that very strongly. We have a lot of threats in the opposite way if we don't do it. You know, you look at the medical and medical research. Already the things that have come out of AI in terms of medical and cancer research and things, we're way ahead of what we ever thought we'd be just from the infancy of AI. So really both, and we want to be very careful with it. We also know that a big part of our economy, it could be 50, 60% of our economy going forward for a period of time at least, especially during the startup, is AI and AI based. We have trillions of dollars of construction going on, and that construction would stop, or it would certainly be, a lot of it would be halted. So look, we're leading China. We're leading China by a lot. China knows that, and not doing this would be the greatest gift to China and other countries, but China in particular, that China has ever received.
And with Venezuela, now that we've seized this tanker, is the campaign against Venezuela still just about drugs, or is it now also about oil?
Well, it's about a lot of things, but one of the things it's about is the fact that they've allowed millions of people to come into our country from their prisons, from gangs, from drug dealers, and from mental institutions, probably proportionately more than anybody else. They came in from many countries. We're getting them out. We had 11,888 murderers come into our country. Many of them are from Venezuela. We had thousands of Tren de Aragua, the gang, come in from, which they say is the most violent gang. I don't know, MS-13 is pretty bad, but Tren de Aragua, they say, is the most violent gang. That comes from the prisons of Venezuela. It came out of the prisons of Venezuela. So it has to do with a lot of things. They've treated us badly, and I guess now we're not treating them so good. If you look at the drug traffic by sea is down 92%. And nobody can figure out who the 8% is, because I have no idea. Anybody getting involved in that right now is not doing well. And we'll start that on land, too. It's going to be starting on land pretty soon. Thank you, Peter.
Mr. President, in Indiana, just a few moments ago, the Senate there rejected the congressional maps to redistrict in that state. A number of Republicans voted against that redistricting effort. You have spent a lot of time talking about this. The Vice President traveled to Indiana. What's your reaction?
Well, we won every other state. That's the only state. It's funny because I won Indiana all 3 times by a landslide, and I wasn't working on it very hard. Would have been nice. I think we would have picked up 2 seats if we did that. You had one gentleman, the head of the Senate, I guess, Bray, whatever his name is. I heard he was against it. He'll probably lose his next primary, whenever that is. I hope he does, but because he's done a tremendous disservice. I mean, think of it. It's a great place. I love the people there. They love me. You know, we won in a landslide all 3 times. Got tremendous votes. I got record votes. And then there's no reason for doing that. And the Democrats do it to us, so I can't imagine that they do it. But I wasn't very much involved. But there's a man named Bray, I guess, head of the Senate. Was that Bray? Is that the name? Bray? I mean, I'm sure that whenever his primary is, it's, I think, in 2 years, but I'm sure he'll go down. He'll go down. I'll certainly support anybody that wants to go against him.
Mr. President, if I could ask you briefly about on AI and then a question on Ukraine. On the AI side, the flip side of what you've done today is what kind of agreements you can get with China, particularly on the national security threats posed by AI. During the Biden administration, there was a vague agreement on not using AI in the nuclear weapons complex. Tell us what you envision and what conversations you've had, if any, with President Xi on that topic.
What, relevant to AI?
Yes.
I speak to him a lot about it. I speak to him a lot, actually. I have a very good relationship with him, as you know. If you had another president, you would have had a big rare earth problem, and it turned out not to be a problem. They're purchasing tremendous amounts of the soybeans and our agricultural products now. We're getting along with them very well. No, we talk about AI quite a bit. We talk about everything quite a bit.
Well, do you have specific guardrails you're trying to put together with them?
One of the things I talk to China about is the denuclearization of weapons. We'd like to see if we could stop that. I'm talking about nuclear weapons. I've spoken to China about that. I've spoken to Russia about that. And I think it would be something that we would want to do, and they would like to do, and I think Russia would like to do.
They've said they won't join New START or a follow-on to New START.
Well, that's what they told you, but what they tell you is different than what they tell me.
And I'm Ukraine, Mr. President, just briefly. You made a commitment to the Europeans back in July, if I remember right, to participate in some kind of a peacekeeping force should there be a peace agreement. You mentioned, I think, air support, intelligence, and so forth. Does that commitment still stand? Is the U.S. ready to go contribute to
It's
this?
called the security agreement, basically, that they call it, the
which
security
sounds like
agreement.
one
Yeah,
of
we
the-
would help. We would help with security because it's, I think, a necessary factor in getting it done. I thought that we were very close with Russia to having a deal. I thought we were very close with Ukraine to having a deal. In fact, other than President Zelensky, his people loved the concept of the deal. We threw something out.
This is the four-part deal that you...
Well, there's 4 or 5 different parts. It's a little bit complicated because you're cutting up land in a certain way. It's not the easiest thing. It's sort of like a complex real estate deal times 1,000, right? But it's a deal that would have stopped the killing of thousands of lives every month. Thousands and thousands of lives, mostly soldiers. But as you know, there's some
Are
bombs
you
being
headed
dropped.
to sort of a Korea-like ceasefire there where you don't resolve?
Well, there's a meeting on Saturday. We'll see whether or not we attend the meeting. We said we'll attend the meeting if we think there's a good chance of. They want me to attend. They want us to attend, and we'll be attending the meeting on Saturday in Europe if we think there's a good chance. And we don't want to waste a lot of time. We think it's negative. We want it to get settled. We want to save a lot of lives. As you know, in the past we spent. Could be $350 billion given it to Ukraine. We got nothing in return, but we gave it to Ukraine. I ended up getting rare earth in return, even though I didn't spend money. And we are now selling weapons to NATO. We're not selling it to Ukraine. We're selling weapons at full price to NATO, as you know. They distribute those weapons probably to Ukraine for the most part. They're probably doing it to others also, but we're not involved in the war other than the fact that we are involved in a negotiation because people want us there. Ukraine wants us involved very much. Europe wants us involved. I have a great relationship with the countries of Europe. As you know, I took GDP. I took what they're spending as a percentage of GDP, but it was at 2 and they weren't paying, and now it's at 5. And everybody's amazed. But that 5% is, a lot of it's coming back to the United States. With that being said, I'd like to see the killing stop. 25,000 people died last month, soldiers, mostly soldiers, but some people also where bombs were dropped. But for the most part, 25,000 soldiers died last month. I would love to see it stop. And we're working very hard. It doesn't really affect the United States unless it got out of control. A thing like that, as you probably know, because you are a professional, a real professional, which is something I don't say about a lot of other people, but you are a great professional. Things like this end up in third world wars. And I told that the other day. I said, everybody keeps playing games like this. You'll end up in a third world war, and we don't want to see that happen.
Mr. President. Can you confirm that you have appointed a general to lead the stabilization forces in Gaza? What will be his mission, and how soon do you want to see?
Well, we're working very strongly on Gaza. Yeah, we're working very much on Gaza. We actually do have a real peace in the Middle East. We have 59 countries supporting it, which has never happened before. We have countries that want to come in and take care of Hamas, as an example. We have countries that want to come in and take care of Hezbollah in Lebanon, as an example. And I say, right now you don't have to do that. You may have to do that, but we have countries that are volunteering to come in and literally take care of the whole thing. We have a great peace in the Middle East. It's never happened before. And I think it's very strong, actually.
And with Prime Minister Netanyahu, you're supposed to meet him end of this month. What's on the agenda?
Well, we get along with him very well. He's been a wartime prime minister, certainly. We did a big thing when we went in with this very plane right here, this beautiful plane. We went in with those B-2s, and now I can use the word because it's been confirmed by the Atomic Energy Commission, we obliterated their nuclear capability, their potential. and their nuclear capability would have been there in about 2 months. I think it looked like it was. Some people say 2 weeks. I don't know if it's 2 weeks, but a very short period of time. They were very close to having massive nuclear weapons, and these guys went in and they did a job. And that made peace possible because everybody was afraid of Iran, and now they're not afraid of Iran anymore. And Iran would like to make a deal with us.
Your own national security strategy does not say obliterated, sir. It says set them back. Your intro does.
Well, the Atomic Energy Commission said obliterated, and the people that have seen the site said obliterated. And frankly, Iran said it was obliterated. And to show you how accurate it was, and you know, I fight for the pilots because the pilots and those people went in there at great risk, and they hit every single target on every single bomb, and they did a lot of damage. And for them to be given anything less than 100% of the credit is unfair. So I will tell you, the Atomic Energy Commission said it's like gonzo. It's one person actually used the term obliterated. But Iran actually said that they probably can never go there again. They can probably never start there again. If they ever started, they'd probably choose a new site. But regardless, we took out the Iran nuclear site with great talent. No other country could have done that. No other country has weapons like we do, but no other country could have done that. We have the best weapons in the world. We have the best military in the world. And when we took out Iran, that allowed for peace. There's no way that. And I really have great respect for the King of Saudi Arabia, for the Emir. I'm friendly with UAE. These are great people. These are actually great people and great leaders. There's no way they could have done a deal if Iran was not really nullified to a large extent. Iran is not the same country. Iran was a country that was feared by everybody. Now it's a country that's been very much downgraded. I'm sure they'll try and come back, and they're very capable people. Maybe they will, maybe they won't.
They are reconstituting their missile program quite quickly.
Well, you know, they can try, but it's going to take them a long time to come back. But if they do want to come back, and they want to come back without a deal, then we're going to obliterate that one too. You know, we can knock out their missiles very quickly. We have great power. And we helped Israel a lot. We were shooting down the drones. We were doing a lot of things for Israel. We did a good job for Israel. But Israel did a good job. They fought. And they all fought bravely. Look, that's a war. That's a vicious war. They're all vicious wars. When you write, hey, you covered a lot of wars, they're all vicious. We never saw a nice one, right?
Right.
They're all vicious. But that was a big fight. But the big thing was the knockout of the possible nuclear capability, and it was a complete knockout of nuclear capability. That doesn't mean that over the next 2 years or 3 years they're not going to come back or not going to try. I think they got hit so hard, they may talk about trying, but I don't think they want to try. And I can tell you that they would love to be able to make a deal with me. They would love to be able to make a deal with me. And I'd love to make a deal with them if we could. You know, we were not close, but not so close, but we were reasonably there for a deal with Iran before the bombing, and they would have been much better off if they made a deal. They could have had a deal. They could have had a deal where they would have been much better off. Look at what we've done. I mean, their place is blown up. Forget about the nuclear. The nuclear is gone, but they're look at the damage they've suffered, the death that they've suffered. They could have had a deal with nobody would have died, no buildings would have been down, nothing would have happened. We would have blown up their nuclear. That would have been it. They could have had a great deal, but they missed that opportunity. But they would like to make a deal right now. Iran would like to make a deal with me. Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Do you think the Senate should confirm your nominee for Religious Freedom Ambassador, Mark Walker, in time for Christmas as a Christmas gift to Christians around the world?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've heard good things about Mark. Why is something come up that I don't know about?
Well, he was nominated in April, and he still hasn't received even a...
Well, I'd like to see him. I mean, I'm hearing very good things about him. So I thought by asking that question, something new came up. There's breaking news about Mark Walker. I'd like to see him. I've always found him to be a high-quality person, frankly. Yeah, I'd like to see that happen. I will say John Thune, though, has done a good job. He's approved. He's gotten hundreds of people approved. We have a roadblock with the Democrats. They're just obstructionists, that's all. That's all they're good at is obstructing. They're not good at creating. They're only good at obstructing and wanting open borders and men and women's sports and transgender, for all things that transgender for everybody, all things that people don't want. And they're obstructionists. You know, they're doing that with healthcare. We have a great healthcare proposal where we pay all of the hundreds of billions of dollars that the insurance companies have been making. You know, their stock is up 1,700%. And by the way, the stock market today hit another high. 52 times we hit a high in a 10-month period. That's during my second presidency. And it's been amazing. Nobody's seen anything like it. You know, we had the greatest economy in history in my first term. I think we're blowing it away right now. I think we're blowing it away. And again, prices were the highest they ever were. Inflation was the highest in 48 years, or I think ever. They say 48 years. The press says 48 years. I'll accept that, but I think it was the highest inflation we've ever had under the past administration. We had the highest prices. We have high inflation, you have high prices. Prices are coming way down. Energy is coming way down. Gasoline is hitting now $1.99 in a couple of states, and it's way down. Gasoline is way down. And when gasoline and energy comes down, everything follows. But prices are coming down, and we have an unbelievable economy. 401ks are setting a record. 401ks that's owned by a lot of people because they're based on the stock market. And the stock market for 52nd time has just hit a brand new high. So it's amazing what's happening. And I will say this, our country is respected again. I think we're respected like never before. The United States is respected again. We have a country that was a dead country 1 year ago, dead. And now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Press. Let's go. Let's go.
Let me know.
Thank you.
You call me and let me know. Good morning, my patrons. Thank you for being here with me. We got some videos that we're going to share today. One of them I know is going to make you cringe, Republicans. You guys got to suffer today. Today you're going to suffer. I'm going to go ahead and play your favorite group of people from the left. And I want to say before we play this, Happy Hanukkah. And yes, we are going to judge this video. So you guys better not go anywhere. I want some inputs, and I want you to tell me what you think. Honestly, what you think about this video that we are going to watch. And with that being said, guys, hey, welcome to the Dennis Herrera Show. And salud. Get your cup of coffee. Get the juices flowing. Coffee is life. I know what you're thinking. You're looking at this picture, and the Patriots that are flakes are just going to leave. But we got to get through it. And I do have a message while watching this. So let's take a listen.
And spread that.
Just so you know, we're not going to watch the whole thing. It's already almost halfway there, okay? I'm not going to punish you that much with the fake Jew Schumer and the fake Jew. Can you believe this? Hakeem Jeffries. But let's watch this. I think this is important to watch, and I'm going to tell you why I like this video.
So with the permission of the leaders, we'll proceed to lighting the menorah now. We'll do the blessings pro forma. It's not Hanukkah yet, but then afterwards, if everyone who can will lead me in Maos Tzur. And I'm not sure if we're being joined for the lighting by the speaker, but if he enters, we'll welcome him as soon as we're done. Okay?
Thank you.
And Senator and Leader, I yield back the balance of my time.
No, it's gone this time.
Join me, please, if you know what we're saying and singing. Leader, I know for sure knows it. Baruch atah Elokeinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Hanukkah. Baruch atah Elokeinu melech haolam, she'asa eliminate blight, but we have to keep trying and not give up. Thanks for the encouragement, but there's a lot of work. So.
I'm going to pause it right there. Listen to me. There's something very special about this. Now, you guys don't know if you're not a spiritual or religious. I get it, whatever. There's something very special about this. And I want you to just look at something for a second. Take a look at Hakeem Jeffries. We don't like this guy. Take a look at him. Let me zoom in there for you. Have you ever seen that? This whole time that we've been fighting back and forth. I know he's missing his hat, his sombrero. But that's a good feeling for me to see. You see, I can't hate people. I can dislike them, but I can't hate them. If Hakeem Jeffries was honest and really care about the American people, I would see him a lot different than I have seen him in this whole trajectory where Trump has been president. And, saying Happy Hanukkah, seeing Mike Johnson in there, smiling with Hakeem Jeffries. This is a moment, and I want you to understand this, and the reason why we really need to celebrate these holidays. It doesn't matter how you feel about Chuck Schumer. Should they pay for their crimes? Absolutely. With this knowing the block of liberals, they're not gonna like this. Is so effed. P.S. I love the Jews no matter what. Correct. So do I. Hey, listen. I love Israel. I love Israel. Period. But I really want you to focus on it's. There's always going to be fighting. There's always going to be hating. And if we take away holiday celebration, it takes away all hope. You have to understand. See, the leftists that come into my chat here, please, and I want to emphasize, if you support Trump, if you're America first, you should be in this chat. You should support Trump. You might not like him. You don't have to like him. But he is the only one that is fighting for America, and not just America, but is actually helping the world with the interest of putting America first, and that's why I support him. That's one of the reasons. But I want you to look at this, please. If you say you're a Trump supporter, if you're a MAGA country, don't be a flake. Make a choice and be loyal. For better or for worse. Just think as if you're getting married. This is a relationship. We're making a contract. For better or for worse, Democrats voted for Biden. We're going to blame him for everything he did wrong. That's okay. But you know what? They stuck with him. They had their 4 years. We didn't go break buildings. We didn't burn towns. We didn't destroy small businesses. We didn't go hating everybody. We waited our 4 years. Well, now we are having our 4 years. President Donald Trump has done exactly everything that he promised us that he was going to do. And he has delivered. Now, he's not God. He needs time. He can't just magically make everything change. He has done more for this country in this year alone than in all history of presidents in this country. Whether you like him or not is irrelevant. The facts are the facts. And the proofs are the proofs. And when I have a lot of prime ministers, leaders, presidents from all over the world, even those that talk bad about him, coming in and just have to acknowledge, they got no choice but to acknowledge that he has been doing great things throughout the world. Now, those who are jealous, those who get embarrassed, those who are, shamed because of what they've been doing has been horrible, there's nothing that they can do about it. But you have to understand, we cannot be hating 100% of the time. As much as I dislike Chuck Schumer, let me tell you, I can see, this is the difference between us and the crazy leftists. I'm going to prove it to you. when you look at this on the right side, please, and be honest, don't be a jerk. When you look at this, it melts my heart, guys. It does. You guys know I get emotional with religious stuff. Look at Chuck Schumer's face. Forget about all the bad stuff. Forget about everything. What do you see in that man right now? Just right there in that moment. What do you see? What do you see there? Tell me, patriots, what do you see in that face right there in this moment? Forget about all the hate. Forget about all the negativity. What do you see? Amazing, crazy, amazing. Yes, America, yes. No, Pauls. No, Paul. Down, boy, down. No pandering. Wrong. He sees something. Exactly, Trinity. For once. It is the moment. It is the holiday. That little spirit that comes in and shows us who we truly are. He looks happy. Yep. He should retire, that's for sure. Childlike looking, interested in the ceremony. Yep. Traditional. Yep. It's amazing, guys. I'm telling you, it's this day. Right now, I can't say anything bad about Chuck Schumer nor Hakeem Jeffries. They're both missing their sombreros, but I can't say anything bad about them, man. And that, my friends, that is the true magic of holiday season. I'm a softie, bro. You guys already know I'm a softie when it comes to joyful things, loving things. That's what melts my heart. It really does. And a lot of people don't care. A lot of people don't care, and that's okay. That's all right. But Mike Johnson is in here. Now, how much crap do they talk about him? See, these are the little things that people oversee or they don't pay attention to. How much better are we as Americans when we unite? I'm being totally honest. And I'm going to cuss out every Republican, every liberal, and every idiot that comes into this chat and starts talking bad about these people right now. I am telling you, for this moment alone, they get no criticism from me. I criticized them already. But after I see this right here, there's something special about it. And you just can't deny it. So my love for every single one of these people in here. Now, with the same token, I want you to always know something. We are pro-Israel. But when they are not in the holiday spirit, when they are back into the evil cloud of darkness of the world, you will know that there is some good Israelis and there is bad Israelis. There is good Americans, there's bad Americans. There's good and bad, good and evil throughout the world. So you got to love America. You got to love Mexico. You got to love every single country for the goodness that does exist in every country. And it's okay. We generalize and we say we don't like this and, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, we have to always remind ourselves that we still need to have love for everybody. And I think that's important, and people should not overlook at that. So let's go ahead and continue watching a little bit of the ceremony. We are still waiting for Kristi Noem to come live. She should be live here any minute. So as soon as she comes live, we're going to cut to that feed. Thank you guys for understanding. I'm trying not to read any more comments because I know there's always going to be idiots that are going to be saying something negative. So I'm going to give you all the benefit of the doubt and assume that you understood the message this morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Schumer had a hard 3:30 on the Senate side, but Leader Jeffries is here with us. And what I do want to say is one thing. I don't get involved in their opinions on political issues. That's not my role. But one thing I will say is the two gentlemen to my left are strong and perhaps the best friends of Israel and the Jewish people either side of the aisle has ever seen. So I'd like to have a round of applause for them there. And one more sentence. I do want to say, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, I'm a registered independent, but I do want to say as a Jewish American, or an American Jew, however you phrase it, that I go to sleep easier at night knowing that at the helm of our nation and this institution of Congress are people who recognize the value we give this nation. So I think that that's important to remember. And thanks, Mr. Speaker, despite all the difficulty, for making it here today.
Sure. Thank you, Rabbi, and I apologize for my being a little tardy. I was whipping votes in the back room. We got it done, and I'm really grateful. This is the third annual Congressional Menorah Lighting, as so many of you know, and I just want to express my sincere thanks. Rabbi Shemtov always speaks from the heart and has such conviction, and it's contagious. And of course, Leader Schumer, who is here, and Leader Jeffries, who is my good friend and my colleague, and we do share this in common, that we support Israel, obviously, and the Jewish people. And all of our many colleagues and friends who joined us here for this meaningful occasion, two of my favorite colleagues down here who have joined us and proudly represent Jewish people in Congress, Mr. Goldman and Mr. Fine. And they're extraordinary leaders and do a great job for everybody. This is a special time of year, and we like to do this. We enjoy this because we gather here in the People's House to celebrate our fellow Americans of all faiths. And this is an important one. The festival of Hanukkah at its heart is a celebration, of course, of courage, of the Jewish people's steadfast defense of their faith over centuries of persecution. And we don't ever forget that. It's more than 2,000 years ago in the ancient land of Israel, the Jewish people were denied the most basic freedom to pray and to express their faith in the holiest of places. And it was then that a fearless patriot known as Judah Maccabee led a small band of brothers to reclaim the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. When the temple was restored, the menorah's oil that should have lasted only one day burned instead for 8 miraculous days. I'm telling you this story as if Rabbi Shemtov didn't cover it already. But for those who are tuning in late, okay, this is the history. It's during Hanukkah that the Jewish people celebrate and commemorate this miracle by lighting the menorah each year. Today, that same light will shine here in the People's House, and that's what is important. It shines as a symbol of the resilience and the perseverance, the eternal hope of the Jewish people. I don't know if it was explained, the significance of this particular menorah. Did you? Well, it was a gift to us, and it is made of the steel that came off of the bombs that were shot down over Israel, the missiles that the Iron Dome was taken down. So it's particularly meaningful and a poignant reminder of just what we're talking about, the perseverance of the Jewish people over all these years. And as we light the menorah, we're grateful for the many freedoms we enjoy as Americans, and among them, the freedom to worship freely and without fear of persecution and injustice. Yesterday, I entertained Speaker Ohana, my counterpart of the Israeli Knesset. He was in town, as many of you know. Some of y'all met with him. He's become a good friend and a colleague. And he was here because we jointly signed a letter to nominate our president, President Trump, for the next Nobel Peace Prize in 2026. And it was Speaker Ohana's idea because he thought that this was an appropriate thing, having settled now 8 conflicts and bloody wars, conflicts around the world, that he and I would be co-signatories on this, and that we would ask all of our colleagues, the other speakers of the great and presidents of the great parliaments around the world to join us in that. So it'd be a joint nomination of the President of the United States for the Nobel Peace Prize. I think it's very appropriate. I thanked him for that. We had a joint signing ceremony, but we exchanged gifts. And he gave to me a 9th century clay pot that was actually for oil, priceless. I didn't want to touch it. I said, everybody can stand away from that, okay? It came from, I think, the first temple is what he told me, and it's an incredible piece of history as a gift. And what I gave to him in exchange was a copy of the father of our country's letter to the Hebrew congregation. They wrote in 1789. The Jewish leaders there had written to him, and they had concern about their protection in the United States, in this new country of ours. And they asked the president of our country, would their religious freedom be respected? And the president of our country, the father of our country, George Washington, said in his own hand, his own words, he said that this is a natural right, that you are given this right by God, not by government. And in the United States, we will jealously protect that. The right of every single person to have the religious liberty, the first freedom we call it, to worship and to live as you please. And that has always been a part of our tradition, and we recognize that here. This cherished tradition is an ideal articulated in our earliest days as a young nation, and that's what comes to mind when we do these things together. I just want to say that we take heart in knowing that even in the face of generations of bigotry, bondage, persecution, and exile, the Jewish people have endured and they have flourished. And that, at its very essence, is what we celebrate today, that the light of faith and love and courage and conviction will always guide us on the path to brighter days ahead. We're so very grateful to everybody here for joining us to celebrate the miracle of Hanukkah. May your candles burn bright this season, and may God bless you all. Thank you, and apologize again for being a little late for this. Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. We appreciate you. We love you. Hey, look at that picture, guys, for all you libtards that come in here hating on us. And now we're going to go ahead and watch the live that just started here for Kristi Noem's.
Being here. It is so great to be among so many of the Homeland Security distinguished leaders and all of you who are working on such a critically important mission for our country. So thank you for being here. And we at Oracle appreciate just being here amongst all of you. I have the distinct honor of introducing this afternoon's keynote speaker. Prior to being named Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, the Honorable Kristi Noem served as South Dakota's 33rd governor and was reelected in 2022 with the largest vote total in South Dakota history. During her time as governor, she strongly supported strict border enforcement and actively backed statewide drug enforcement efforts with connections to cross-border crime. Now, as the Secretary of Homeland Security, she has led a historic effort to secure the southern border, delivering on President Trump's pledge and enhancing security to all Americans. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome to the stage the Honorable Kristi Noem.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come and visit with all of you and wear my tennis shoes. It's been a busy week, and I'm just so grateful to get the chance to discuss our Homeland Security mission, and thank you for all of your partnerships. You have just been absolutely incredible in working with us to fulfill our mission each and every day. For 22 years, know that this organization and its members have facilitated safety of the American people each and every day, and you bring together experts and industry leaders and innovators to do so. I want to give a special thanks to Megan as well for her leadership as the executive director here at the Homeland Security and Defense Forum. She has been here for 13 years and has led with excellence. I also want to thank our acting deputy commissioner, I don't know if he's still here, John Modlin, who's here with CBP, our El Paso sector interim chief patrol agent, Walter Slozer, who also is speaking with you today, maybe already has, and then David as well, who is a former CBP acting commissioner. So grateful for them and their leadership and sharing their expertise and wisdom with all of you. We know that a secure homeland is important not only because of our duty to protect the American people, but also because it's important to ensure that our country remains prosperous. And that's how industry can thrive. I know what it's like to run a business. I'm a farmer and rancher from South Dakota, which you probably know, but also ran several other businesses, including a restaurant, a hunting lodge, and different entities with my family over the years, had the opportunity to serve in Congress, and then as governor before I had this position. But that experience all comes to play when it comes to making decisions not only on safety and security, but also how to do so in a way that's accountable to the American taxpayer. So what does the Trump administration, under President Trump's leadership, want? What do they want to do as far as building partnerships with all of you? What are our goals? And that is what I'm here to discuss with you today. The President wants a country where our citizens can live in peace, where business is booming and opportunity abounds for all of those who play by the rules and follow the law. Today, I'm happy to tell you that President Trump is indeed making America safe again. And I think all of you know that from what you see out on our streets and in our communities today. And he's setting records and breaking records in the process. When President Trump returned to office, one of our top priorities was getting the Department of Homeland Security back on track. As you know, in many situations, our law enforcement officers weren't allowed to do their jobs. People and departments and components under our umbrella were off mission and were not doing the duty that they needed to protect America. For 4 years, the Biden administration pulled DHS and other vital parts of our national security away from our core missions. There's no clearer example than the disastrous open border policies that we saw perpetuated and the invasion which was facilitated by the administration. They brought crime and violence and unprecedented drugs to our communities. Terrorists flooded our country, and countless citizens of adversarial countries waltzed right in over our border. Customs and Border Protection was prevented from doing its job, and worse, they were used many times to funnel aliens in as quick as possible. President Trump has put an end to that, delivering the most secure border in American history. In fact, we've just reached our 7th month of 0 illegal aliens released into our streets. Border crossings are down over 93% year over year. Meanwhile, we're removing illegal aliens who came in under the Biden administration. By the end of this year, 2.5 million illegal aliens will have left our country. That includes over 600,000 that were detained and deported, but 1.9 million virtually have left voluntarily through our communication efforts, through the efforts of facilitating plane tickets, and also $1,000 reimbursements for those who choose to go home voluntarily with the opportunity to come back the right way someday. We have seen an incredible amount of interest in fixing things that have been done wrong in the past. As a result, we have also deterred countless would-be border crossings from entering into our country. DHS, as you know, was founded after 9/11. It was founded to put all of the government agencies and components under one umbrella to fight terrorism and to protect the homeland, and that's exactly what we're doing under President Trump. From January to November of this year, ICE alone arrested and removed over 1,100 known or suspected terrorists that were on our terrorist watch list from January through November. And we're driving that number up every day. That is not counting the individuals that were arrested and encountered by other agencies or departments. President Trump has designated many cartels and gangs, other criminal groups such as foreign terrorist organizations, and designating them under that allows us to go after those killers with more tools than we've ever had before. Through our Homeland Security Task Forces, which I co-lead alongside our Attorney General Pam Bondi, DHS is working with other departments as well as our international partners and organizations to crack down on cartels and terrorists and other transnational criminal organizations. Since late August, the Homeland Security Task Force has seized more than 461 metric tons of drugs and millions of dollars in assets. Last weekend, CBP under the Homeland Security Task Force stopped nearly 6,000 pounds of meth from coming into the country from San Diego at a port of entry. And that bust would not have happened without the robust security that we have at the border. The bottom line is that we're driving the cartels out of business, and we're ending an industry that profits off of the deaths of millions of Americans. Fentanyl traffic across our border at the southern border is down 56%, and that means that fewer families will have to live with the pain of losing a loved one. We're taking the fight to make America safe again to our enemies, and we're going after them on the high seas as well. We know that our maritime borders need to be defended, and since January, the U.S. Coast Guard has seized enough cocaine to kill 177 million Americans. That's 2/3 of our country's population. By keeping criminals and terrorists and drugs out of our country, we're saving American lives, and we're sparing American families from the pain of illegal alien crime and the heartache of drug addiction and fentanyl poisoning. But we know that our threats are ever evolving, and that's why you're here, and that's why I'm grateful you made it a priority to be here today. We need the improved technology, the intelligence, and the expertise that you bring to the table to stay ahead of our enemies. Thanks to the big, beautiful bill, we have funding that we can make sure that the Department of Homeland Security has what we need to get equipped to prepare for the future. We focus on merit. We're ensuring that we get the best products so that we can keep the American people as safe as possible. And as a result of everything that we've been doing, Americans are getting back to work after years of illegal aliens taking their jobs and flooding our market and using those resources to support other entities besides American families. In the first 8 months of the Biden administration, 88% of new jobs went to foreign-born workers. In the same period under President Trump, 100% of American jobs went to American-born workers. Overall, that's more than 2.5 million Americans that went back into the workforce. Now, as President Trump continues to stand up for our citizens and prosperity on the global stage, he also is working to enforce American tariffs. CBP is responsible for implementing and for enforcing all tariffs, and in January, CBP has collected $1 billion from tariffs, taxes, and fees. And what there actually are and what we are utilizing them for is a negotiating tactic. They serve as a stick, so to be, to bring people to the table. And if a company or a country doesn't like tariffs, a simple solution exists. Invest in America. Meet our demands. Meet our safety protocols. You won't regret it. You won't have any tariffs, and we want to do business with you if we do it the right way. And we will rely on our international relationships and partnerships to keep our country safe. As President Trump's DHS secretary, it's been an absolute honor every single day to get up and to have a purpose of safety and security with the United States and be able to negotiate with our international partners. And since January, we have secured, under the Department of Homeland Security, over 30 international agreements that don't just tighten our security operations, but they also help us with travel, and 17 of those I have personally signed with our international leaders. For example, the biometric data sharing partnership agreements that we've signed with countries in the Western Hemisphere have allowed us to identify threats to the United States and to the region. And these data exchanges have allowed us to better understand the movement of bad actors in the hemisphere and identify them if they come to the United States. Many of you have the technology and the innovation to help us do that even better. And among those that we have identified, we have found nearly 100 known and suspected terrorists just from those agreements that we've signed in the last several months. America is not just a nation that is important, but it also needs to refocus on being the Arctic nation that it is, and we have been since the 1850s. Under President Trump, we're finally acting like it. We need to revamp our shipbuilding industry to revitalize the Coast Guard to help defend it. And last month, I hosted the ministers from Canada and Finland here in DC to continue our icebreaker collaboration effort, our ICE Pact, to strengthen our maritime capabilities, to rebuild America's shipbuilding industry, and to increase our presence in the Arctic region to deter our adversaries. ICE Pact brings together the governments of our countries, our three nations, and it brings private industry in from all three countries. I'm sure you've read and heard about what that really has done to establish the shipping industry here in the United States. For example, the Canadian shipbuilder Davies has pledged over $1 billion to acquire and to modernize the American shipyard assets in Texas for the production of icebreakers right here in the United States. 2 multi-purpose icebreakers are proposed for construction in Finland by the American-owned Bollinger Shipyards and the Canadian-owned company of Seaspan. And working with the Department of Labor, we've deployed millions of dollars in grant programs to create the International Shipbuilding Fellowship, which will fund opportunities for American workers to travel to Finland, to learn from them and their expertise, and to bring that skill set back here at home to deploy. We're doing all of that because the American people deserve the security, they deserve the prosperity, and the future that will come from it. And we need groups like you to make it happen. You are the innovators. You see the challenges that are coming and you help us tackle them with your expertise and your knowledge. You create the solutions that propel us forward, and you don't give up until you do. And that's really what the American spirit is. It's what drives us forward as a nation. We're all doers, and we always have been. As my dad raised us, he told us we don't complain about things, we fix them. And I want to thank you for being here today to help us do exactly that. That's exactly how our ancestors carved 13 colonies out of an unforgiving wilderness. It's how we tamed the Wild West, it's how we founded a nation, and it's how we landed on the moon. That spirit that built America is what made us great, and we need a lot more of it. What do we need from industry? We need your technology. We need your wisdom, your expertise. We need agility. We need you to be quick and fast and deploy. Under the Department of Homeland Security, I have personally reviewed over 9,000 contracts myself to ensure that they're not only the correct contracts we should be signing as far as deploying resources, but to do it quickly and be accountable to taxpayers. Know that when you work with us, that it will meet a need that we have to secure the homeland, but also that it will be something that is appropriate and correct, will be evaluated, and will be deployed at an efficiency to the taxpayer. We have saved over $13 billion at the department just by reviewing and renegotiating contracts, making sure that we're doing the right thing and stretching every single dollar as far as we can to take care of people and to keep them safe. We need your new solutions to meet the threats of tomorrow so that we can build an America where we can protect America and where we can uphold the principles and the law for which it was founded. If you care about all of that, and if you want to be a part of the team and continue to help us, gosh, that would be absolutely fantastic. We need you. We face more threats than we ever have before, not just from enemies that are here within our borders, but from those far beyond. Not just from individuals, but from groups, cartels, terrorists, and even other countries that wish to take America out. Our threats are great, but our people are even greater. And I want to thank you for all that you do to help us to achieve safety, but also hope and happiness here for our families that live here. So I just want to thank you all for being here, for what you do, for loving this country, and may God bless you for partnering with us in new ways each and every day. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for giving me a few minutes to visit with all of you. And with that, I will yield back, but does anybody have any questions? I'll take a couple questions before I leave if you've got some. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
We have a contract on your desk right now to review the
We're going to negotiate a contract right here today. I love it.
I want to know what we're going to do to improve and quickly put in place AI-enabled surveillance on our borders to improve the false alarm rate, which is very, very high right now and causing a lot of pain to the folks in the field who need this.
Yeah, as you know, we had a plan under Trump 45 to build the wall, and the wall is not just an infrastructure of a primary wall. There's a secondary wall and the technology and surveillance equipment that actually goes with it as well. And as we do that, and this is the largest project that's ever been undertaken, I believe, in the world, to build an infrastructure project of this magnitude. And having the right technology to tell us when there is a threat at that border is important, but also we need to know when it's not a threat and it's something else. So your contract, I don't know the specific one, but I will go look at it. It's not on my desk yet because I just cleared my desk this afternoon. But that is one thing that we need, is not just technology, but technology that's reliable, that gives us the correct information we need to keep people safe. So we have already done the many contracts to deploy and building of the border, but we are going to continue to allocate those. I think we have put those out faster from the OB3 funding than ever done before as far as the contracting process has gone, but we'll continue to ensure that those systems get installed and online as soon as possible. What else? She shut it down, didn't she? With the yes, sir. Last one, and then I better let you get back to business.
Ma'am, not a question, but I'm not going to speak for everybody here, but for me, just want to say keep it up.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, God bless you. You have a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody.
And that was Kristen Owens. I am actually so happy that she is leading this charge. I don't care how many people want to hate on her. I admire her. She really is out there enforcing the law, and she's really doing America first type of work. So I appreciate that. Now, I want to play a clip just to remind criminals that if you commit a crime, you will pay the price for that crime. So my advice is just to behave. Be good in this country. It's not hard. This is a free country where you can become a better person. And those of you who, well, not you, I see in the chat, but those people that love criminals, well, that is the wrong way to be. Let me go ahead and listen to this quick clip over here, and we'll go ahead and continue some dialogue if some of you want. I will play a crime chef at the end of our live this morning. I do have quite a few editing labors and tasks that I have to do. So I do got to make some time for that, guys. I can't just live 15 hours a day. I need time to do some edits and do some work besides doing lives. Now, for those of you that come in here for the first time, I want to say thank you, number one. I appreciate your love and your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting the like on the button there, hitting the thumbs up, and especially my members who support me every month. This is what I do for a living, in case somebody was wondering, and I cannot do this unless I have your support. Some call it begging. I say I'm earning your love, and I'm trying to entertain. So if you are satisfied, please do me a favor and hit that like button on the video. Like, share, and subscribe, as they say. But thank you so much for becoming members of my channel. For this Christmas, I couldn't afford more, but I bought 10 of these mugs with the Dennis Herrera show on there. And to show you my appreciation, I gave away 9 of them to some of my members. So I hope that you like it when you get it. I am waiting for more stuff because I'm going to put in there a little card and say a little thank you for supporting me as well. They are free. There's just a little thank you Christmas gift. I wish I can do it for everybody, but I'm not rich. So 9 lucky members will get a mug from the Dennis Herrera show. And let's go ahead and get into this little clip. And then I will go ahead and give you an official thanks with a small clip.
U.S. law enforcement go to bring in an alleged killer? Murder in a Costco parking lot near Seattle put that question to the test, triggering an international manhunt that ended in Kenya. Crime correspondent Jason Matera has the story and the lengths the FBI went to in order to arrest the suspect accused of shooting an elderly woman who had just wrapped up her grocery shopping.
If you think you can commit a crime and run outside the country to escape justice, we will find you.
The FBI says Salman Haji bolted from the U.S. after being accused of an attempted robbery outside Seattle that turned deadly. It all started on January 26, 2024, when investigators alleged that Haji, then 19, and a co-defendant carjacked a Porsche at gunpoint. Sometime later, the duo rolled into a Costco parking lot in their stolen wheels. That's where authorities say their crime spree went lethal.
At that point, they approached 2 individuals that were in another vehicle, attempted to rob them. During the course of that robbery, there was a struggle, and the passenger was shot and ultimately died.
Police eventually arrested Haji's accomplice, but Haji himself got away, fleeing overseas after allegedly gunning down a 67-year-old woman who had just finished loading groceries in the car.
Tukwila Police Department began investigating this as a murder, and during the course of that investigation, subsequently, Mr. Haji actually fled the country into Africa.
Haji had posted up in Kenya, but following a year-long international manhunt, the FBI arrested him in July to answer for his alleged crimes. How does the FBI actually reach across borders to find a fugitive and bring him back to U.S. soil?
We have an international reach. We have presence in over 180 countries worldwide, about 250 FBI employees, forward deployed throughout the world to build relationships with law enforcement agencies.
That global presence, the Bureau says, helps them reel in suspects on the run, and it's powered by cross-border intel sharing and agents working overseas on America's behalf.
For anybody who has engaged in criminal activity, is a violent criminal, but thinks that they can evade justice by leaving the country, the FBI has a long memory and we have a long reach.
Salman Haji now faces a stack of charges that include murder, robbery, and attempted robbery. His trial is set for January of next year, and he has pleaded not guilty. But Chris, hats off to the FBI for tracking him down in Kenya, of all places, and dragging him back here to the States to answer for this awful crime he's accused of doing.
Justice is good, but it's heartbreaking. An elderly woman just loading her groceries suddenly gunned down, allegedly by this guy. Although I'm not surprised that this occurred right outside the infamously lawless Seattle. Jason, did the FBI share anything about the tools that they used to track this guy across the globe?
Yeah, it's a great question, and we asked it, but they wouldn't get into any of the specifics. They don't want to tip their hand. What was clear, though, from our interview is that the FBI has personnel overseas in places where the United States has no jurisdiction, and they work to build these relationships with foreign law enforcement entities so that when someone becomes an international fugitive, those channels are already open to facilitate an eventual arrest. Basically, there's a lot of groundwork that's always happening behind the scenes.
Good old-fashioned police work. Crime correspondent Jason Matera, thank you very much, sir.
And there you go. That's the clip from Newsmax. And you know what? Crime doesn't pay. Everybody knows that. But we do have a better, I believe, we have a better enforcement team now. And I think that the new FBI has been breaking records to where others just collected checks. I'm sure that there's always been great workers, great servicemen, but unfortunately, the last administrations have been weaponizing the government against those politicians that they don't like. It's very unfortunate that there is a lot of people out there that are better editing videos, they are better advertisers, they're better marketers, etc. Better, well, they're good at lying. I'm not good at lying. I'm good at telling the truth. And that is the difference between me and the leftist YouTubers that make videos to just promote hate against our the Trump administration and the American people. Being able to repatriate illegal aliens does not mean that we hate them. Just because they are my people, it does not mean that I'm going to condole them breaking the law. If ICE comes for them, the citizens and every other innocent person out there needs to stay out of the way, let them do their job, because everybody does get their due process. I think that when people get involved, they're just putting themselves in harm's way, and then they complain about them being the victim when they are the ones putting themselves in harm's way. With that being said, I want to say thank you guys to all the members. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And there is my list. Thank you, every single one of you guys, for your support and your love. You guys really give me a lot of love, and I appreciate it. I am very needy. I need lots of love. Not lots of love, less hate, more love. I hope you guys appreciate that. This is what I was talking about when we were listening to the first live. It's CNBC admits that Biden owns the affordability crisis. Full stop. Let's see if we can read a little bit of this article just to keep informed. After 4 years of pretending Joe Biden's economy was excellent and even trying to convince voters that prices were going down on his watch, Democrats are still gaslighting the public, trying to pin inflation on the affordability crisis on Donald Trump. Something tells me that's not going to work out any better for them. Even CNBC is now openly declaring that Biden owns the affordability crisis crushing American families. I am sorry, leftists, all you libtards in here hating President Donald Trump. I know that's a dagger right in your heart, but it is what it is. During a Wednesday morning Squawk Box segment, host Joe Kernan was unambiguous about who's to blame for sky-high prices. The affordability issue is from 22% increase in prices and inflation under Biden. There's just full stop right there. That's the affordability issue, and you got to be able to explain that, Kernan said. Former SEC Chair Jay Clayton, appearing alongside him, didn't hesitate to agree. That's right, Clayton replied, making it clear the roots of today's economy pain run straight back to Biden's time in office. Let's, I think we can watch this. I think it says watch on X. Let's take a look.
A 22% increase in prices and inflation under Biden. There's just full stop right there. That's the affordability issue. And you ought to be able to explain that better.
Right. That's right. And look, I think that with the economic team, President Trump and the economic team led by Scott Bessent, you have people who very much understand this. And it was they were thrown, what I would say, the worst economy for the average American in my adult lifetime, in terms of like you said, the incredible increase in prices at the household.
There you have it. Well, let's continue reading the story. Starlink. I'm very tempted to buy Starlink, but I need to make more money. It's going to be nice to be able to do lives anywhere. I can be downtown Seattle, and I don't have to worry about my cell phone signal being too low. But for now, we have to do with what we got. That's a Downing's assessment of Biden's legacy from someone who knows the financial system inside and out. Politically speaking, there is only so long that an administration can point to the previous administration. But the good news for Trump is that while some prices remain stubbornly high, there are early signs of relief. Gas prices are trending downward, and the Trump administration is methodically dismantling Biden's costly green energy regulation. It takes time, but he's getting it done, for sure. One major target is Biden's absurd corporate average fuel economy, or CAFE, standards, which have driven up vehicle prices by forcing manufacturers to meet unrealistic fuel economy targets. During a recent appearance on Fox Business with Larry Kudlow, NEC Director Kevin Hassett explained how rolling back these rules would directly benefit consumers. We just had an event with the president where we were talking about CAFE standards. The Biden administration was saying that cars have to have 51 miles per gallon, which meant they're going to be really expensive electric things. And President Trump waived that, and that's going to reduce the price of cars by, we estimate, between $1,000 and $2,000 for the typical car. And so that's the kind of thing that lowers prices and makes lives better. The broader strategy is straightforward. Cut regulations, lower energy costs, and let the market breathe, which is basically the exact opposite of what Biden did. Biden's regulatory obsession did not just slow the economy growth. It made everyday life unaffordable for millions of Americans. The 22% price increase Kernan mentioned isn't some abstract statistic. It is the difference between families making ends meet and families drowning in debt. And many Americans felt that, and that's why Trump won the 2024 presidential election. And that is why I keep telling you that if you voted for President Donald Trump, don't be a flake. Stand up. Tighten up that belt. Make sure that you are strong enough to go through the sacrifice that needs to be done for this country to come back to greatness. You cannot be supporting Democrats because you are not happy with President Trump right now. You are destroying everything that we have been sacrificing, waiting 4 years through a really critical, destructive Biden's administration. We voted for Trump. We got him. He comes in tough. He's got to clean up all this big mess that the Biden administration has left. And you guys turn your back on this guy. You guys turn your back on your American patriots, on your countrymen. And you're going to tell me that you're going to start voting for Democrats again? How does that help? How does that help? I would just say that you cannot be a flake. Man, we got to stick together, but you cannot be a flake, man. Just put that yourself in the firing line. We're going to war. We need people that are just going to stand there and take the bullet for the next person next to them. This is the old school fight. The soldiers didn't give up. The moment they start chickening out because things got rough and tough right there in front of them, they got scared and they wanted to leave. But you know what? The rest of the countrymen made them stronger. And many people sacrificed their lives, but they went through it. They pushed through it. They were afraid, but they were courageous, because courage can only be born when somebody is afraid. That's how courage is born. You have to be afraid. You don't have to be courageous. If you're stupid, you just go out there and go crazy, and no matter what. But to be courageous, you got to stand and stare at fear right in their face and go right through it. So I am calling for actual American patriots that will put American first. You need to stop this little moaning and bitching and whining. You are grown. You made a vote. We got it. We see what's happening. Guys, it doesn't matter if prices are higher than you think they should be. It's irrelevant. Prices will continue to go up. It's part of inflation. It happens. It happens because population is going to keep growing. What we're trying to stop is not going excessively too high in inflation. We need to allow ourselves to also grow economically so that we can continue to move forward with progress. I know socialist programs slows us down, but it will not stop us. If we continue to support President Trump, listen, I know he exaggerates sometimes. So do I. I exaggerate all the time. But we're making something. We're doing something for this country. See, the executive branch has so much power to do so many things, which is why it's important to get the right leader in office. It is very important. We cannot just, say everything is great, so we're going to support. No, even when things are not great, you got to stick it out. 4 years. You don't vote for 6 months. You don't vote for 1 year. And are you really going to tell me that your expectations is that he is going to make sure that everything is changed in 1 day? If you believe that, I'm giving you too much credit that you're smart. Hey, listen, I will take the blame. I voted for President Trump. I'm not going to be another Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's great. She's got so much potential. She has good issues that she brings up to the table. I like it. But to go to the enemy's camp and say all these negative things about the person that you supposedly supported, that's a traitor in my book. And I am not that. I'm going to continue to support them. Anybody that comes into my channel, if you're not a patriot, you're not going to like it, but this is MAGA town. Make America Great is not just a slogan that says Trump. Reagan said that. You know what that means? Real patriots believe that America was great once. And we want to make America great again. And when we talk about America, we're not talking about the continent. We're talking about the United States of America. Interestingly enough, the better the United States of America does, the better the country does. The more we allow our enemies to come into our land, the more destructive the world becomes. I don't think that I'm going to be able to stop talking about Muslims invading our country. I think it has to resonate in everybody's heart, and you have to understand something. Many people till this day, they don't understand that the Muslim religion is not a real spiritual religion. The Muslim religion was invented by a government, an evil one at that. They believe in they believe in incest. They're inbreed. They believe in that. They believe that Muhammad, their most holy prophet, can sleep with a 9-year-old. That is perversion. I understand. 15 years old. Okay. 15 years old. I get it. Back in the day. Today, our moral standards are more known to us. So we know that a 15-year-old today, it's not a good thing. Now, teenagers will make stupid mistakes, and yeah, it happens. But if you're a grown-ass man like myself, if you're 50 years old, well, I'm not 50 yet, but if I'm 50 years old and I go look for a 15-year-old, there's something wrong with me. I just can't see myself. I'm sorry, I just can't see myself. Listen, I look at some Asian women. A lot of Asian women, they look so young, and they're a lot smaller. It's so hard for me to consider, because sometimes even if they're 30, they look like they're 13 years old, and it just doesn't feel right to me. So, that's just me, though. I'm not going to judge anybody else. I'm just saying that that's just how I feel about it. I got friends that are bigger than me, they're taller, and their wife is Asian, and their wife looks, like they're in their 20s, even though they're my age. That's great, fantastic. I don't judge them. I think it's great that the wife looks young, but to think that to sleep with a 9-year-old is a good thing, it's just never right. It's never right. I know some states have a lower age, I believe, for minors. I don't know which ones. I never looked into it, but I heard. But for me, 18 years old. And if you're 30 years old and you are with an 18-year-old, okay, you're pushing it. But after 18, they're able to make their own decision, and it becomes legit then. I know the guy that was running for president in Honduras right now. He is 40 years older than his wife, but he's 72 years old. She is, obviously 30. 32, I think she is. So, whatever. After a certain age, we just get older. That's just it. That's what it is. But, not to make a long story short, the religion of Muslims does not align with our Western beliefs. Yeah, even the people that don't believe on Christianity, even they don't believe in God, they can relate. See, we dress the same way. We act in some ways the same way. Christians are not telling you that if you do this, we're going to kill you. We don't do that. Yet this country was founded under God, under Christianity and Judaism. And look how much this country has flourished. Look at the Muslim countries. What do they have? Pain, oppression, suffering. It's crazy. I know people want to defend Somalians right now, but let me tell you something. It's a big mistake to have them all here. If I had it my way, I will deport every single one of them. If they are serving, okay, they can stay. If they are actually giving back to this country, okay. But every single person that came in here with the excuse of asylum and refuge, they all have to go. As a matter of fact, I don't even feel bad because they all believe Somalia is more beautiful than the United States of America. They love Somalia so much that they lied to become citizens of this country, but their loyalty belongs to Somalia. Ilhan Omar, her loyalty is to the president of Somalia. Now you tell me, Americans, if you would love to endorse a naturalized citizen that puts their country of birth before your own countrymen, and the land. I don't think anybody on their right mind will support that. I wouldn't be able to be here if I was that. See, I have my full loyalty to the United States of America. And so a lot of illegal immigrants will hate me and call me a traitor, sellout, coconut, etc. I don't care what they say. Because when I talk with educated Hispanics, they agree with me. When I talk with law-abiding Hispanics, they agree with me. When I talk with people that are not criminals, they agree with me. So who do I want to support? Who do I want to hang out with? Who do I want to say, this is my people? Well, my people are the ones that follow the law, the ones that respect the law, the ones that love this country, and the ones that love the people of this country. That is my friends and family. Icing on the cake, if you're a Christian, you love God. But a lot of times I have people that say they're Christians and they come in here and because of the way that I talk, all of a sudden I'm not Christian. And interesting. Very interesting. So what is the point? The point is that everybody that comes into this chat, the reason why we support President Donald Trump and the whole administration is because we believe that America has to be put first. Now, if you are confused about Israel getting money, we get intel from Israel. Israel is our ally, and we will help them every single time. If you're wondering why we sent $40 billion to Argentina, well, we already got that money back. If you are wondering why we are over there stopping Nicolas Maduro from doing what he's doing, let me remind you first, or maybe just tell you if you don't know, he has sworn death to President Trump and to Americans. This is why he released all the prisoners to come over here illegally into the United States of America. You see, there was a scheme made by the Democrats, and they coordinated all the way down to Venezuela. Corruption in the Honduras president. The one man that was keeping crime down, that was not getting hundreds of thousands of Hondurans migrating because the president was so bad, was the one drug lord that they say President Donald Trump pardoned. You know what they did? They got rid of him. They got rid of them. They threatened his family. He gave himself in. He turned himself in to save his family. And then after they got rid of him, we got these big caravans of migrants coming to the United States of America. And you know what they all had in common? They were promised free way, money, doctor assistance on the way here, papers, documents that would allow them to be here. They were trained to say what they needed to say in order for people to be excused to be here. What was the key word? What's the password, guys? What is the password for illegal immigrants to come into this country and think that their human rights allows them to be in this country? What's the password? Somebody put it on the chat. What is the password to stay in this country? I'm addicted. I'm addicted to your love. Anybody knows the password? Let's see, Trinity, what's the password to stay in this country? Let's see if anybody can get it. No, Pacific is not coconut. Richard, no, Dennis has no soul nor decency. The password is prisoners of what? Of soul? No, no. Somebody tell me what it Bobby Banks. That's right. The nut man. They know. Asylum is the password. That's what they trained every single one of them to say. Every single one of them. What was the second thing that they have to say after using the password? Say, Kefe, I lo fafo off my chat. Not frijoles. That's my password. Frijoles, that's me. I'm the beaner in the chat. I love frijoles. All right, what is the next thing after they say asylum? What is the next thing that they have to say in order to qualify for asylum? Come on, my peoples. I want you guys involved. I want you to get into this. I know there's a delay, okay? There's a delay, but I'm going to go ahead and spoil it for you. First of all, asylum. And let's see, under the law, if you're entering from a neighboring country, you have the right to apply for asylum. You got the right to apply, but not to get it. It's called apply. You know, when you get this screened offers, $30,000 loan if you qualify. So they have to learn asylum. Asylum is the first password. That's how you get in here, and that's how you get people to try to defend you. The second thing they got to say is, I fear for my life. They want to kill me in my country. The problem with these people is they come all the way from Venezuela. Well, if we take a look at the map, since I'm not a genius in geography anymore, let's take a look at the Americas map. Let's take a look. I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. This is pretty tiny. Good Lord. But I think I can still read it. Here we go. Let's take a look at this map. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. If we take a look at this map, we have Venezuela, the first country next to them in order for them to apply for asylum. Well, Colombia or Guyana or Brazil. The next one is Panama, then Costa Rica, then Nicaragua, then Honduras, then Guatemala, then Mexico, and all the way to the United States of America. Do you think that is the next country? Absolutely not, of course. So, people that don't know how it works, hey, thanks for reminding me, bro. I think it's time. Guys, it's time for a hat change. It's time for a hat change. I like that. Gulf of Mexico. J Money, I know why you said it. You want me. You want me to wear it. Well, let's wear it, baby. Let's wear it. Oh, it feels nice and cool. Very nice. Gulf of America, baby. Let's go. So there you have it. When illegal immigrants want to come here and they want to use an excuse to stay here, first of all, you got to get the words right. Asylum. I fear for my life. That's it. Two things you got to get right. What is the third thing that you must do in order? Now, guys, I've been training you guys for this. What is the next thing that will make Americans believe you? What do you have to do in order for Americans to believe you that you need asylum? And this will also make Americans break the law and stand against ICE agents and stand against Trump and the whole administration. What is the next thing that people have to do in order to have the people believe that they are victims? All you can eat at Denny's. Now, you get me with that. Say you come from a poverty-struck nation. Yeah. The password is frijoles. That's my password, man. Don't be sharing that password. You have to renounce your citizenship to do that country. Yes, you have to renounce it if you want to be an American citizen here. So the next thing you do here, first of all, you learn the password asylum, and then you learn the reason for to use that password is I fear for my life. The third thing you got to do is convince people that the law in the United States of America are criminals. ICE agents are criminals. Let's see if anybody puts it on here before I say it. All right. You have to know how to cry like a little bitch and whine and yell and complain. Now, this is a tactic that a lot of protesters use. They sit down on the ground and then they start screaming and crying, "Ow, ow, oh, ah," because they're being grabbed and moved out of the way. They start screaming and just yelling. It is natural. It is natural for us to be like, "Oh my God, something's going on. What's happening?" We get confliction. We get conflicted feelings. And so they got to play the card. I think it's funny when you have grown-ass men whining like that. Very embarrassing. Very shameful. I think that's crazy. Yeah, somebody mentioned a grandma. I just for shits and giggles. Let me try to find a quick video let me try to find a quick video to share with you guys. Let me see if I can find it on my history here. You guys may have seen this on TikTok or Shorts or whatever, but let me see if I can find this video here. This is hella funny to me, and it proves my point, and it proves my point of what I'm trying to say. So let's see, not this nincompoops. Come on, show me the grandma. Show me grandma. I might have to search it. Don't see. Oh my God, dude! I watch hundreds and hundreds of videos. You guys have no idea. And I don't believe everyone. I don't believe every single video. I make my own deductions on what I watch. Let's see. Maybe I can search it in here. Come on, it's got to find something. Come on. We're not going to do that one. Come on. I want to find the right one, the one that I'm talking about. Oh man, grandma, she don't play on that one. Come on. Seriously? I am using all my searching skills in Google. Come on. Seriously? When I didn't want to watch it, it was popping on my feed. Now that I want to watch it, it's not here. Some bitch. All right, maybe we'll leave it for another time. It's almost time for the Crime Chef video of the day. So, oh man, I wish I can show it. Come on. I'm probably building up too much hype for this. But there's a lot of fake videos. Wow. Man, that title really sucks. I can't find that. Hold on, guys. Thank you for being patient. Don't worry, we'll get to the fun part of the video. Just hang in there. Oh boy, we are not watching that. I cannot believe this. How freaking impossible is that? Oh, maybe here. I've been watching a lot of crazy fights in Europe, London, and France and Italy. I will find it. You guys chat on the chat there for me, please. I should play the Crime Chef while I'm looking for this information so you guys don't get bored. Wow, you guys won't believe how many freaking videos I watch for you guys. All right, I cannot find that video. It is what it is. We are not going to be looking at leftist videos today. You guys already know what Somalis need for discipline. They need to get spanked. That is their culture. That is what they teach them. But here in America, they get too much love, and that's why they don't behave. All right, let's go ahead and put in here our Crime Chef video of the day. And this is the closing of our live today. And hopefully maybe we get some more lives going on as the day comes by. Let me take a look at my home here. I know everybody's waiting for the Karens and Juanitos to be deported. All right, this is like from 4 hours ago now, guys. This is kind of fresh from his videos. Let's see, what do we got here? Some tampons needed for the haters, says Arnold. Perfect comment to come back to. Gulf of America. I recommend everybody to go search it. Gulf of Mexico. You will get a reality check. You know what I find interesting is that Mexicans are upset with this name change. But the Gulf of America wasn't always the Gulf of America. It was Gulf of Mexico, but Gulf of Mexico wasn't always the Gulf of Mexico. As a matter of fact, it wasn't anything until the Spaniards came in here and named it. So I don't know why Mexicans are so proud of calling it the Gulf of Mexico, or even calling themselves Mexicans when the Spaniards gave them that name. The only cool name that we have is the United States of America. Americans. See, nobody gave us that name. We gave ourselves that name. And I am very happy for it. All right, I'm not going to torture you guys. Trinity, my sister, agrees. It is the Gulf of America. Let's see, the Dennis Herrera show. What's fake? Yeah, that's right. DHS, Dennis Herrera show. That's why my last name is on there, Herrera. All right, here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get it. I got a lot of editing to do. You guys don't know, but I have a lot of editing to do. It takes hours to do just a simple, stupid-ass video. But I got to do some work behind the scenes. So what I mean is meaningless format. Hey, Big Kahuna, thank you for stopping by, my friend. We appreciate you. All right, Liptards, if you are still in the chat, this is the time that you can leave. You might be triggered, and emotions might be running very high during these videos. So this is your chance to get the hell out. Everybody else, you American patriots, thank you for sticking with me and listening to my dumb comments.
We start today in Minneapolis, where a city councilman decided to film himself confronting ICE in the middle of an operation. And let's just say the camera didn't save him from what came next. But that wasn't the only chaos unfolding. Down in New Orleans, a Karenita and her protest mob tried their luck with ICE during an arrest. They learned fast how that ends. And across state lines, ICE walked into a Circle K and ran straight into another Karen who thought she had all the answers, until Agent Bovino showed up. And then there's the gas station mob. You'll see. Welcome back to the documentary where the wildest creatures record their own downfall.
What are you doing here, man? Why are you here? Why are you harassing us? Why are you harassing us?
Why are you harassing
Why are you harassing us? You're not welcome here. You're harassing innocent people.
Keep in mind that the male Karen behind the camera is an elected official harassing federal agents who are doing their job and actively impeding their investigations. An elected government official. This is absurd.
You're harassing innocent people who are just living by their life at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Do you have an
Don't
idea?
give you. I'm not gonna tell you shit.
Okay.
I ain't gonna tell you shit. I ain't gonna tell you shit. But don't come to our neighborhood. You're not welcome. You're not welcome.
More whistles.
You need to leave. You're not welcome. Get the fuck out of here.
I
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Now, by hearing him say that, you really believe he's an elected official?
Oh, you with ICE? I thought everyone you with ICE?
No, I'm not with ICE.
In a Democrat-run city, everyone is welcome except real Americans and law enforcement. My channel is the exact opposite. If you're a real patriot and support ICE, you should subscribe because I have tons of content you'll love.
No wonder we love the crime chef. He's just an American patriot just like us. Remember what I told you about them making noises before? The whole whistling and the honking and all this stuff? He said, he just warned him, keep your distance. He said, oh, I can't hear you because of the whistle. They're setting themselves up for failure. They're setting themselves up to get beat up and arrested. It just it is what it is. They're trying to trigger them. They are obstructing justice. They are federal agents, and I don't understand why people don't understand that this is the authority, and they have jurisdiction everywhere in the United States of America.
Bigots! Terrorists! You're terrorists! You are terrorizing us! Terrorists! You did this! You fucking did this! All on you! It's all on you! You came to my neighborhood! You came to my neighborhood! You came to my neighborhood! With guns!
You know what else I find very interesting? It's that when the ICE agents come over, when the police comes over, how come they don't do that against criminals? That's my biggest question. How come these so law-abiding citizens never form a protest against thieves and rapists and murderers? They don't go out there and protest against gangbangers. They don't go out there and make whistle blows and get in front of gangbangers. Never. Never. Why is that? If you're so righteous about your cause, if you're so righteous about you protecting your neighborhood, your community, why don't you really do that? Why don't you really do that? And they have the nerves to call them cowards. Cowards! Shame! They're yelling at themselves, to be honest. But how come they don't protest? Yeah, they don't protest the criminals, do they? See, they come and protest our law enforcement because they know they are abiding by the law. They're abiding by the law. That's why they harass them. Have them go harass criminals. I think that would be very lovely. Chances are they're actually going to get shot. But, you know, hey, maybe they will learn a lesson that way. Use your freedom to protest. Yeah, go protest criminals. How come they don't protest illegal immigrants? How come they don't go protest any of these criminals? I find that very interesting, don't you?
With ICE?
Yeah, he's a law enforcement.
Yeah, he's harassing people.
Who's he
They're all
harassing?
citizens.
Who's
They're
harassing?
all citizens.
How do you know? How do you know? All right. How do you know? Okay. He said they're all citizens.
Yes, they are.
How do you know they're all
Get the
citizens?
fuck out of here. Because I know. This is my neighborhood. This is my neighborhood. Okay. This is my neighborhood.
How do you know they're all citizens? How do you know they're innocent? How do you know that they don't have a criminal background? How do you know? Good question. I would have made him eat that whistle. I'm just not that patient. I would have made him eat that whistle.
I want to know what you're going to do. I'm honestly interested in what you're going to do. Or what? Or what? Go home.
What is that? Keep your effing hands out of my face, but they put the cell phone on his face? F no. I will be going off on these fools. No respect. If you defend these people getting in the way of ICE, our federal agents, I don't know what to say. You should be arrested. You should be arrested. You should be arrested.
You keep your
Go home. Go home.
keep your
Go home.
See, ICE agents are there. They're conducting an investigation. And you have to understand, when you're obstructing or impeding federal agents from doing their job, you can go to jail. And good luck, somebody go take you out.
You did this. You did this to yourself. You did this to yourself. Oh, yeah?
Don't you spray that.
You can pepper spray us all you want. I's gotta go. I's gotta go. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing anything. Get the fuck out of here. Go home. You're not welcome. Go home. Terrorist! Terrorist! You fucking terrorist! Piece of shit! Terrorist! Terrorist! Terrorist!
Meanwhile, in New Orleans, the crowd pushed too far.
Puertas. No abran puertas. Inmigración aquí está. No abran puertas. No abran puertas. No abran puertas.
And these people are so stupid. They are looking for specific people. They're looking for specific people. And those who get on the way and get arrested and they are illegal, they get found out. If you have a green card and you commit a felony by assaulting a federal agent, goodbye green card and welcome deportation for you.
Esta gente, no abran puertas. Ahí está inmigración, no abran puertas. So sad, people. No, it's fine. If it's a criminal, I'm not against it. They could take him. It's fine. But there's families. It's fine. I have nothing against that.
Unlawfully entering the country is a crime.
It's fine. They're doing their job. But hey, remember freedom of speech. They can stop me. I know my fucking rights. No abran puertas, inmigración está aquí, because sometimes when they look for the criminals, they get the good ones, not the bad ones. The criminals are hiding. Míralos allí. Inmigración, no abran puertas, gente. Todo lo que es Newport, inmigración está ahí. Ellos no pueden traspasar si no tienen un warrant, si no es FBI, el state trooper o la policía. They're good, okay? So, if they don't have a warrant, they can go in your house. It's FBI, the cops, or the state troopers, see. They have the right to go and break in, okay? Those are border patrols. Border patrol.
Wrong. The state trooper does not have the right to go and break in. They also need a warrant. The only time that they will not need a warrant, it doesn't matter if it's ICE agents, federal agents. If they are chasing a criminal that they know is going into a house, they don't need a warrant to go into that house because they know the criminal is there. See, warrants to go into somebody's property is to do a search, meaning that they are not sure. They can't prove that something is in there. But if they see a criminal go into the house, they have every single right to go in there and break that door. Yeah, so somebody has to pay for the damage, but they do have that right.
They're not allowed, only if they have a warrant, okay? They could go in your house. If they don't have a warrant, they're not allowed to go in, okay? Only FBI, the cops, and state troopers. Ahí está el jefe grande de migración.
The big boss.
Of course, safety. He got to be protected. It's a lot of people against him. We protesters. Freedom of speech. We protesters. He feel unprotected because they doing it the wrong way. And I'm not against the criminals. That's fine. He can take the criminals, but they taking the good people, not the bad people. That's the problem. And you know what? If y'all know your rights, I know my rights. They can stop me from recording and follow them. So that's them right there. You keep taking pictures of me, I'm gonna be famous, so y'all gonna deport me to I don't know where. He keep taking pictures of me every time. That same guy. So if y'all get deported, y'all gotta take me out. I don't know where I'm going, but I gotta come back here. That man keeps taking pictures of me all.
Now let's check in with Greg Bovino at the Circle K.
Están en la William, en el Circle K de la William. No vengan, se los van a llevar, no vengan. No vengan. No vengan.
No shame. That's okay. I'm fine. I'm an American.
Why are you arguing? Are you with us or are you with them? Because if you're not with us, we don't need your opinion.
Exactly. You can leave. Also.
Okay, we pay taxes. I own a business and I pay taxes myself. Every year. Okay? You were telling her stuff.
She attacked you with words. You know she's on welfare. She ain't got no business. She is on welfare. She doesn't have a business. She's lying. She is lying. She's on welfare.
Yes. Okay. Oh, another one. Otro gringo. Yeah, I pay taxes. You know how much taxes I pay a year? You know how much taxes I pay a year? Hold on. Don't hold me down. You know.
Guys, let her answer. How many taxes do you pay a year? I want to know.
How much taxes I pay a year? And I pay college for my kids. You know how much taxes I pay a year? I pay a lot of taxes a year.
How much?
Buy me one too. I'm tired. Yeah, buy us one. We done. We tired too. After you.
Show us your taxes.
So go ahead.
See, freedom of speech. Here you go. She's attacking it. And we guess what? I want to lose 30 more pounds. I want to look like you. So I'm going to keep doing it. I do. But I eat a lot of Mexican tacos. I'm not Mexican, but I know white people like Mexican tacos. So, you know, I was born here, so. Y'all know they celebrate that Cinco de Mayo shit? They don't even know what they
Show us your taxes. She don't know what Cinco de Mayo is either.
celebrating because I don't even know what Cinco de Mayo is.
Yeah. See, I told you. Guys, I have not watched this video. I already know these people, man. I don't have to watch these videos. I already know who is in there, man.
So. We're not stopping. We're not stopping. We got this. 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 We got this, y'all. We got this. We got you, baby. We're gonna protect you. Maybe I hurt you. We got you. It's okay.
Don't you agree that this music is better than
And
the
now
whistles?
let's move on to the gas station mob.
Okay, there you go.
The officer told him to go inside. But if you continue right here, you're continuing on private property after you've been asked to leave private property. Okay? This isn't public. It's not the police department. It's not City Hall. It's not the sidewalk. So do all this. I'm fine with it. Thank you, officer. But do me a favor and do yourself a favor and move it to the sidewalk. That's all I'm asking. That's fine. We'll go to the sidewalk. Thank you. Thank you. Here,
I wanted to see some arrests, doggone it. We might have to go to another one.
Today, we witness a rare spectacle. A pack of Juanitos attempting a muddy escape, only to be swiftly rounded up by the apex predator of the ecosystem, ICE.
That's right. No low wages for Americans. We need to make sure everybody gets fair wages. I will share this information, guys. At one time, I had a friend of my wife's, and she asked me to do a small little project for her at her house to put on some pavers in her yard. And she asked me how much I would charge. So I went over there and I took a look at the yard. Okay, it's okay. So I'm going to get this machine. I'm going to, move the ground. I'm going to do some digging. I got to shoot. Okay. I said $2,800. Very cheap. Minimum $10,000. I said very cheap, $2,800. And then she came and she said, oh, can you also do this right here? And I said, well, that's not the $2,800 that I told you. He said, oh, come on, it's just this. Okay, you know what? It's okay. I'll do it. It's okay. I'll do it. Listen, I ended up doing a $15,000 job. And it was too much work, so I had to go get some help. So I decided to go to Home Depot. It's a true story. True story. Maybe I was wrong for saying. But I went to Home Depot and I said, hey, man, thanks for the super chat. Reagan pardoned over 7 million illegal immigrants. And I will love to do that as well. But the lawmakers, Congress, does not do that. So we'll see. And so I go to Home Depot and I'm telling people, hey, listen, man, I'll give you $20 an hour. If you come and help me do this project, we're going to be installing some pavers, a little bit of digging, we're going to clear a yard, etc. The guy says, I don't do any of that work, no less than $25 an hour. Bruh. An illegal immigrant getting paid under the table is asking me to pay him $25 an hour, as if this is just going to be a one-day thing. I charged $2,800. Do you know how much money I made by the time the project was done? I had to use $600 of my own money to finish the project. I actually made negative $600. Isn't that amazing? It's crazy. That's a true story. And some people won't believe it, but it's a true story, man. People will take advantage of you if you let them. So if you don't believe that, that's okay. I will say that I thank every single one of you guys for being here with me today. My members, God bless you. I love you. Thank you for your love and your support. Thank you for being with me here today. We will bring some more later this afternoon. And as things unfold, I will probably come back live a little bit sooner, maybe not. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. To all of you illegal beaners that are in my chat, God bless you as well. And remember, self-deport. It is the best thing that you can do for yourself and your family. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. Patriots, love you all. God bless you. We'll see you guys next time.